This might be the last moment for many of you in the audience to change something important in your life. And I don't mean the school you're in. By the way, it's great. I just had a walk around and it's gorgeous. I envy you. I don't mean the next stage of your education, the university you'll go to. I don't mean the boyfriend or girlfriend you have or you want to marry maybe in the future, or the career you want to pursue. I mean something way more important. I'll get to that in a second. A couple of weeks ago, I overheard the following conversation in a restaurant between an older customer and a young waiter. "What would you like to drink, sir?" "Give me coffee." "What kind of coffee would you like?" And the customer says, "Give me large black coffee, not too strong." And the waiter says, "It sounds like you want an Americano." Hearing this, the customer snapped at the waiter. "I don't want American coffee." And he left. There is a saying that people change until the age of 18. This may sound controversial to you, and it's definitely debatable, but I must tell you, life shows that unfortunately there is a lot of truth in it. It's definitely true in terms of our physical growth, which is quite impressive. During the first year of our life, we grow 50% in our height, and we triple our weight. And then in the following years, our physical growth slows down a bit, but continues to be impressive, and it stops, luckily, at the age of you're in, at the end of adolescence, more or less. Sometimes with the weight, it continues, unfortunately. Parallel to the growth of our body, we grow our character. And what is character? This is the way we think, we feel, we behave. These are the mental, moral qualities distinct to an individual. And just like with the physical growth, we grow most rapidly our character in the early years. They're called often formative years. But also, it continues until the adolescence. And then something strange happens, in my opinion, that we reach a certain point in life, usually around the end of adolescence, where our character sticks like a plaster. Using technical jargon, we might say we establish factory settings, we switch on an autopilot, and cruise through the rest of our life just being who we are. And you might say, there's nothing wrong with that. Of course. But that project, in my opinion, continues to be developed. Yet we choose to focus on other things. Most of our personal development is focused from that moment on our intellect. And as I look at it, there is some explanation why we stop working on our character or we slow down significantly with that process. First of all, I think after this period, rebellious period, many of you are still going through, we need some stability in life. So a fixed character seems to give us just that. Having certain opinions, certain viewpoint. When asked, we have easy answers, quick answers. It seems to be comfortable to live a life like this. But the wise man said, a ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. The second reason why I think many of us do not really spend much time thinking about ourselves and our character is that it is difficult to change. And it is not as spectacular as pursuing fame, money, titles, winning competitions, etc. I said that working on character is difficult. It requires a lot of self-awareness. And how do you get self-awareness? You have to ask for feedback. You have to accept it. So it's tough. And it's slow. But I like this formula a lot, which shows the magic of compounding. If you make little improvements, I don't know if it is showing or not, every day, even after 1 year, you can achieve great results. When I was asked to give this speech today on this broad topic of breaking barriers, I have reviewed my life, and I was looking for some inspiration, what to share with you. So a couple of stories came to my mind that I thought I would share, and some of those stories are illustrated here. But then I thought to myself, I had a reflection. Wait a minute, is this for you or for the audience? Do you want to brag about your life, about your successes? Do you want to feed your ego? Hold on. And then as I looked at many of those success stories, which by the way in life are often overrated, and you often see only one side of it, you don't see the other side, I looked at the other side of those stories. And the other side of those stories was that many of those successes did not really change me as a person. I was the same guy, with the same good sides, but also the same failings. So I said to myself, this is really not relevant. You might maybe find it interesting, inspiring, but is it relevant to all of you? Probably not. Then as I reviewed my life even more, I looked at my professional career, and as an executive, for many years I was involved in a lot of hiring decisions, whom to hire to the companies I worked for. So I was involved in reviewing CVs, in interviewing candidates, etc. And guess what I found out? We think that the most, especially you in your age and your parents, think that the most important thing is your education. Yes, it's important. But for people who hire, and I don't think I'm the only one, this doesn't come as the first aspect. It is not even experience, and this is probably good news for many of you, because when you go to the market, you don't have experience. I have found out that throughout hundreds of interviews, the number one factor that was for me decisive was the character of the candidate. Not only during the interview, but also in the stories they shared, they presented. And this was really the moving piece, the linchpin of the hiring decisions. So, having told you all this, I have concluded that really the character and our lack of focus on continued development on it is something that may hold us back in life, that may hold back our potential. But I don't want to leave you empty-handed. I want to share with you the most powerful practice I know, and I have learned to use almost, I use it on a daily basis. I learned this practice from the Jesuits. And Jesuits have been using this practice for the past 500 years. The practice is called daily examen, and it takes 15 minutes. It has 5 parts, but I will just mention 3 of them which are relevant to everybody, no matter if you're religious or not religious. So it starts like this. At the end of the day, by the way, Jesuits are supposed to do it twice a day, at noon and at the end of the day. I do it once a day, at the end of the day, when I walk my dog. I review the day and look for the great moments of the day. And believe me, no matter what the day is, the list is endless. So if I were to do it today and review the past 24 hours, I would have come up with a long list. I arrived in Warsaw yesterday, hopped on my bike that I have with my kids who are studying here. I did 100 kilometers in the forest, bloody cold forest, but I enjoyed it. Then we went for dinner, went to see the game. Here I am, enjoying this audience, this experience. The list is endless. The second aspect of the daily examen is review the past 24 hours in terms of the bad moments, especially the bad moments of my character, where I did not really like what I said, how I behaved, how I thought. So this might be little things that, I was driving, I was stuck in the traffic, and I started bitching and moaning, right? It didn't help anybody, but just introduce some toxicity into my mind, right? I continue working on that. And then the third element is resolve to make an improvement. Slow, steady improvement. The next time you do a review like that, you can say, okay, I did something out of my character. I changed my reaction to this or that. Concluding, I want to share with you a very powerful quote by Sun Tzu, who said that we should watch our thoughts because they become our words. We should watch our words because they become our actions. We should watch our actions because they become our habits. We should watch our habits because they become our character. And our character becomes our destiny. Thank you very much.